Hey there guys, how are you? So before I give you my movie review of Oculus, would anyone like an apple? They're delicious. If you haven't seen the movie Oculus, that opening joke literally made absolutely no sense to you whatsoever, but I just thought it was a good idea at the time. Ding! So what is Oculus all about? Well, a brother and sister set out to prove that a supernatural evil mirror is indeed responsible for ruining their childhood. And by ruin their childhood, I mean murder a whole bunch of people. And a whole bunch of random scary shit happens along the way. Oh, and did I mention the supernatural mirror turns you into an evil version of yourself? Something like this. Yeah, I guess the evil version of myself has Tommy Wiseau hair and wears the drive jacket. I don't know why. Okay, so going into the movie Oculus, I was craving a good, suspenseful, scary horror film. That's what I needed, that's what I wanted. I love going into the theater, getting immersed into that environment, feeling icky, cold, sticky inside. It's like one of those days where it's a little bit humid out and it's a rainy day, the power goes out in your house, you start hearing all these little weird noises all around, you think you're crazy, you grab two butter knives, you sit in the corner of a bedroom with a mattress in front of you, and you contemplate calling the police, but you're like, no, if they show up, they're gonna think I'm insane. 6 months later, I'm gonna be in a psychiatric treatment center and my family's not gonna love me anymore. That's what I wanted. Okay, that went on a little bit too long, but in all honesty, I just wanted a good, suspenseful, immersive, scary movie. Now, essentially, the two main stars of this movie are the brother and sister who team up to prove that this mirror is evil. And the main chick in this movie is Gillan, I believe is her name. Very hot, she's a redhead, and if they ever made a live action like Little Mermaid movie, I could see this chick playing Ariel. I don't know why, I just imagine her with gills swimming underwater. That's where my mind goes sometimes. And the character of the brother is played by this dude right here. I didn't bother to look up his name, but by the way, watching this movie, here's what I want you to do. If you watch this movie, go back and watch Jeepers Creepers, okay? You take Justin Long's performance, even his looks, and compare it to this guy. They're both very similar in their acting style and their looks. Now, if you guys have looked around online and came across other reviews for this movie, you might have noticed it's split right down the middle. A lot of critics either hate the movie or a lot of them love the movie. For me, well, we'll talk about that a little bit later, but I think a lot of the positive criticism for this film is aiming towards that parallel storytelling aspect of the movie. Now, if you haven't seen the movie, I'll explain what I'm talking about. This isn't your standard linear storytelling film. It doesn't go from point A to point B. Well, it kind of sort of does, but along the way, it's a parallel storyline where you have present day with a story that takes place in the past, but they kind of intertwine with each other along the way. And from a movie enthusiast standpoint, I can give that parallel way of telling the story a lot of credit, because if it wasn't for that, this movie literally has nothing new, nothing interesting, and it wouldn't stand out from the other 500 movies just like it. Yeah, the way that they present this movie to you with the parallel storylines and the past and present intertwining back and forth with each other was interesting, but when you really break down every scene in this movie, it's already been done somewhere else, but a little bit better. In my opinion, this is a pretty typical standard supernatural suspense horror film, camouflaged with a different way of telling the story that might make it seem more psychological than it really is. Now, does that mean I didn't enjoy a few things about the movie? No, not necessarily. The one aspect about this movie I really enjoyed was the relationship between the brother and sister. Even though the brother was a little bit senile and the sister was a little bit crazy and insane, at one point she looks at the mirror and she's like, "I know you're hungry." I'm like, I kind of like that in a weird, sick way. But the one element I most enjoyed about this film was, and they do it in other horror films in the past, I love when the main characters are aware that there's an evil presence there. So what do they have to do? They either have to kill it, extinguish it, or prove that it's there. And the sister in this movie takes all these precautions. She has water bottles, protein bars, timers, cameras, heat sensors, plants. Yeah, the mirror likes to kill plants in this movie. Yeah, she's using all this technology to safeguard herself to prove that this mirror is evil. And I like things like that. I like when they have, computers set up and cameras, because in the end, none of that shit's really gonna help. But it's cool. It's like, yeah, it's what I would do, I guess you could say. It's like, I'm thinking 2 steps ahead here. I know I'm probably gonna die by the end of the night, but I got a video camera here and a flashlight. Okay, let's cut to the point. What is a movie like this supposed to do to its audience? It's supposed to scare them, put them on the edge of your seat. It's a suspense horror film, okay? Did it do all those things? Well, for me, not really. I wanted to be scared. I tried to be. I just couldn't. Like, the girl beside me was a little bit scared, but, I've seen too many scary movies that have already done everything in this movie, but they already did it better, and it was more original when they did it. It just felt like this movie is kind of going through the motions at times. I will give the movie credit for trying to be suspenseful and scary, but it just really never got me that immersed into that environment to scare me. Movies like The Conjuring, The Ring, Insidious, all those modern day movies did that, but this one I didn't feel it. I was getting bored halfway through it. Now here's my question to you. If you disagree with me and you've seen the movie, ask yourself this, okay? What scene in this movie that scared you, put you on the edge of your seat, that you're going to remember for years to come? Like, that image is going to haunt your nightmares, okay? For me, I can't think of one. But when it comes to good horror films that I've seen, you know, movies like The Conjuring, The Ring, that little girl crawling out of the TV, or The Well, things like that will burn in my memory for the rest of my life. This movie, I'm gonna forget it in 2 months. So I'm going to give the movie Oculus an elbow drop with a C. Yeah, the movie's it's okay, but it's not like a movie you need to see, and it's not a movie you're probably going to remember a year down the road. You know, if you're going into Walmart one day, you stop at the red box on the way out, maybe you rent the movie, but only if it's a rainy day and you have nothing better to do. Okay guys, so that's my movie review for Oculus. Now here's my questions to you. Let me know down below. What did you think of the movie Oculus? Or let me know this. If you had to be stuck in some scary horror film, this is a real thing, you're gonna be stuck in this situation, which movie would it be and why? Just come to the conclusion you're going to die at the end of it. But which movie would you want to be stuck in? So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you next time.